Hey everybody, it's Gendo Keshi here. Welcome to another League of Legends Champion Guide. Today we're going to be dealing with one of the most bizarre champions of the league, Dr. Mundo E, the madman of Zaun. Can you control this massive hulk of a crazy person? For some fun gameplay and awesome personality, let us learn how to Mundo. Mundo goes where he pleases. And that's it. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Mundo! Mundo!
What? You want an actual information? Well, if I must. Actually, that quote is quite accurate for Dr. Mundo. Mundo is a tanky, health-based champion, excelling at initiating, roaming, and chasing down enemies. He has no mana, and all of his abilities cost health to use. This means that while he can be somewhat fragile at the start of the game, if you aren't careful, the good doctor quickly becomes a monstrous force to be reckoned with as you build up health. Mundo's passive ability is Adrenaline Rush. Very simply, he regains 0.3% of his maximum health each second. While that may not sound like much, in terms of the standard health per 5 seconds measurement, Mundo gains 1.5 health every 5 seconds for every 100 health he has. This scales quite quickly as you level up, purchase more health, and add more health regen items. Dr. Mundo's Q is Infect Cleaver. Mundo hurls his cleaver, or briefcase, or dumbbell, or whatever your particular skin has, in the direction you point, hitting the first thing it comes across. It deals an amount of damage equal to 15 to 25% of the target's current health, or a flat amount of damage, whichever is greater. The target is also slowed by 40% for 2 seconds, making it an excellent tool for sticking to enemies. In addition, if he hits a target, he is healed for half the health the ability cost you. The Infect Cleaver is very important for Mundo. It is his only ranged attack, and his only form of crowd control. It can also be used to check bushes in areas you can't see. While it doesn't reveal enemies, it makes a very distinct splat noise whenever it hits something, so keep your ears open. Regardless of what role you play Mundo in, it is very important that you learn to land your cleavers. The slow and the damage are massive and always worth landing, be it for harass, landing last hits, or attempting a gank. In addition, in the very early game, it's important not to lose too much health as Mundo. The health returned when you hit is very important. Our Mad Doctor's second active ability is Burning Agony. It's a toggle, meaning you can turn it on and off at will. While active, it deals magic damage each second to those surrounding Mundo and reduces the duration of crowd control effects. This stacks multiplicatively with tenacity, by the way, so in conjunction, you can very easily ignore most of your enemy's abilities. Turn this on while you wade into combat or clear out minion waves. Burning Agony is also Mundo's only skill that scales at all, and it scales with ability power. Even still, the damage, while significant on its own, is not often worth purchasing ability power for. The ability does cost health each second, so be very wary not to keep it on unnecessarily after a fight, just in case it might kill you. Dr. Mundo's E is Masochism. It gives him a 5-second buff that increases his attack damage by a flat amount, plus some bonus damage for each 1% of health he's missing. Very simple, very dangerous. The bonus damage makes last-hitting minions much simpler and makes Mundo quite a monster at taking down turrets. Well, you already knew he was a monster, but you get my point. Dr. Mundo's ultimate, Sadism, makes him virtually invincible past level 6 if you play your cards right. At the cost of 20% of your current health, the Madman of Zaun proceeds to regain 40 to 60% of his max health over 12 seconds, and increases his movement speed by 15 to 35%. This has a variety of uses. During team fights, healing up in lane, chasing enemies, or running away. Sadism does it all. The cooldown is also quite short for an ultimate, only 75 seconds at maximum. So don't be afraid to pop it if you simply need more health. It'll be ready when you need it. The order that you choose these skills in varies depending on what your goal is. In the majority of cases, you'll want to take Mundo's Infect Cleaver at level 1 and max it first. If, however, you're jungling, you'll want to take Burning Agony at level 1 and 3 with the Cleaver at level 2, for better area effect damage to take out jungle monsters faster. In all cases though, you want to max out your Infect Cleaver first, and take a point in Sadism whenever it's available. The choice between Burning Agony and Masochism is more situational. If you want to be tankier, Burning Agony is your weapon of choice for maxing second. If you're taking a more aggressive attack damage roll, however, Masochism is great for smacking people in the face and getting the last hits on minions. You have options. Mundo can be played effectively in a variety of different positions, as a jungler, as a solo lane bruiser, or even as a support. The latter may sound odd, but it works. He fills the role less by healing his carry, and more by constantly harassing the opponents with cleavers. Mundo doesn't need much gold to function well, so he can skip on the minion kills quite happily, opting instead for gold gain through items like Heart of Gold, and building into support items that benefit him as well, such as Zeke's Herald and Locket of the Iron Solari. And here we are talking about items before we even get to that section. Let's do that now, shall we? Mundo can start with a variety of items, but the most flexible option is Boost of Speed, giving us options to buy potions and even a ward if we so choose. Our first goal is to purchase Heart of Gold, regardless of where we're playing. The earlier you buy a gold gaining item, the better after all. From here, we choose Boots. As a tanky character, Ninja Tabi and Mercury Treads are excellent choices, but if Mundo really does go where he pleases, he takes Boots of Mobility. It's all up to you, depending on how you wish to handle the enemy team. After that, build a Spirit Visage. This item is basically built for Dr. Mundo. Not only does every stat it provides benefit us, the improvement of self-healing effects it gives affects Mundo's passive, his ultimate, and even the heal from Infected Cleaver. This item works wonders for us here, and it gets even more insane once we add in Warmog's armor for yet more health and health regeneration. These 4 items are your basic build, and beyond this point we can specialize depending on the situation. As a jungler, Regal's Lantern is your friend and you might grab it before getting Warmogs. In a damage-focused role, purchase Atma's Impaler, Bloodthirster, and replace your Heart of Gold later with a Frozen Mallet. As a full tank, purchase Force of Nature, Quicksilver Sash, and turn your Heart of Gold into Randuin's Own. Finally, in a support role, as we mentioned earlier, turning your Heart of Gold into Locket of the Iron Solari, buying Aegis of the Legion, and buying Zeke's Herald are great. Mundo is very flexible, so keep an eye out for what your team needs most and adjust accordingly. In Dominion, our setup is very similar. Begin with a Heart of Gold, basic boots, and some health potions. Follow this up with Spirit Visage, Frozen Mallet, Atma's Impaler, and Sanguine Blade, while trading your Heart of Gold for Randuin's Omen and the boots of your choice. For summoner spells, Mundo is again quite flexible. I tend to take Exhaust to fill one slot to make up for the Purple Hulk's general lack of crowd control. If jungling, of course you will pair that with Smite. If not, however, you can fill that slot with a variety of choices. Ghost, Heal, Cleanse, Ignite, Teleport, or Flash all work quite well. Just, don't take Clarity. You will be laughed at. Mercilessly. For runes, I use Magic Penetration Marks, Flat Armor Seals, Magic Resistance per level Glyphs, and Movement Speed Quintessences. This is a fairly standard tanky page, with Magic Penetration to ensure great damage on your cleavers, and Movement Speed so that Mundo can more easily go where he pleases. As for Masteries, well, it depends how serious we're being. Mundo is again highly flexible, but I often play him with 9-21-0 Masteries, taking points in whichever summoner spells I happen to be using. Note this page is not set for jungling here. If it were, remove the points in Resistance and Vigor, and place them in Summoner's Resolve, Tough Skin, and Bladed Armor. Regardless, this setup ensures tankiness, cooldown reduction, magic penetration, and increased movement speed, shoring up weaknesses all around. Alternatively, for my usual silliness, we can go 0-30-0, taking almost every defensive mastery to ensure that we never die. We are Mundo after all. Damage will come later. For now, we will never ever die. Mundo is a lot of fun, able to wade through the enemy team while shouting his name repeatedly and chopping them to bits. Learn to land cleavers and balance your health total, and you will dominate the fields of justice. Now go forth! Make me an army worthy of Mundo.